Welcome to the workshop. Let's discuss our goals for this workshop and our other workshops as well. First, our goal is to help educate our patients and friends in the community. Second, we hope to inspire others to make positive changes. And third, we want to provide opportunities for real implementation. This means that these aren't going to be a bunch of boring lectures, but rather, these workshops are designed to be fun, engaging, and interactive. So get out your notebook and pen and let's jump right in, okay? We believe that getting healthy doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, it's actually kind of easy once you know and understand 5 key principles. We call these the 5 fundamentals of health. Our highest levels of health will be achieved when we understand, number 1, that health comes from the inside. Number 2, our approach towards improving our health is one of simplicity and consistency. Number 3, when we are functioning correctly, both mechanically and chemically. Number 4, when we are mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in tune. And last but not least, number 5, we are fueling ourselves properly. Over the next few workshops, we're going to be helping you learn and master these 5 fundamentals so that you can live your very best life possible. Today, we're going to be focusing on fundamental number 1, and that is that health comes from the inside. We feel that one of the best ways to teach this is through a hands-on goal-setting workshop. So let's start with a question. Are people today generally healthy or unhealthy? Well, let's look at the statistics. The US represents approximately 5% of the world's population, and yet we spend more on healthcare than the other 95% combined, and we consume over 75% of the world's medication. A recent study compared overall health of 11 peer nations, and the United States came in dead last. And this wasn't the only study of its kind either. Countless studies have shown that the US has more incidence of chronic disease than most other peer nations. Problems like obesity, heart disease, diabetes, cancer, autoimmune disease, and more. The US continues to struggle with these problems. So based on this information, we can clearly determine a few things. First, it's not a lack of spending. We spend more than anyone else. Number 2, it's not a lack of prescription drugs. We consume more than anyone else. Number 3, what we're doing clearly is not working. And number 4, health doesn't come from an outside-in approach. It's been attributed to Albert Einstein that he once said, "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result." So it's time for a change. And while we realize we may not be able to change the world, we can at least start here, one person at a time. So where do positive health changes start? Well, any positive changes we want with our health are all controlled by the same mechanism, our nervous system. Our nervous system literally controls every other system in our body. This is where everything begins. Just think about it for a minute. If you were to break your arm, does the cast do the healing? Or if you were to scrape your knee, does a Band-Aid do the healing? Or if you were to get sick, does the medicine do the actual healing? Of course not. Your body has an amazing innate ability to heal itself and maintain normal, healthy function. As you watch this presentation, your brain is sending countless signals to trillions of cells throughout your body. Your eyes, your ears, your heart, your lungs, muscles, kidneys, liver, all without you even having to consciously do a single thing. This is what we mean when we say that health comes from the inside. So, how can we capitalize on our body's amazing ability to achieve and maintain health? It starts through properly setting effective health goals. This workshop will help you do just that through showing you how to create your personal health roadmap. It's been said before that a goal not written down is only a dream, but it's also been said a goal without a plan is merely a wish. So we're going to help you. We want to help you start with the correct ideas and vision to help set goals. But beyond that, use those goals to create an action plan. And through this, we're able to create enhanced clarity, which will lead to greater action and ultimately helping you get where you want to be. It starts with a clear and powerful why. Michael Beckwith once said, "Pain pushes you until a vision pulls you." And that's what we want to do, is help you create a powerful vision when it comes to your health. So, what is your why? What is sufficiently compelling enough on an emotional level to motivate you? Is it family relationships or relationships with friends? Is it a specific activity that you enjoy or an achievement that you want regarding your health? Or maybe it's that you want to travel and see the world, go on vacation, or something similar without health limitations. Whatever it is, it has to deeply resonate with you. Otherwise, it simply won't have the power necessary to help you. Take just a minute or two to write down your why or whys and get real clarity on this. You can start now. Okay, have you written down your why or whys? It's critical that before we get to the what or the how, you first determine your why. But why do we start here? For two simple but powerful reasons or truths. First, because people usually don't make decisions logically, but instead make decisions emotionally and then justify them with logic. And second, because you literally have the power to change your life if you can tap into the right emotions and mindset. You see, in life, we can either use our emotions or be used by our emotions. It's kind of like the ocean. You can either ride the waves or get flattened by them. Let's use an analogy to illustrate this. Would you walk across a beam from one skyscraper to another for a $1,000 bet? If you're like most people, you probably wouldn't, not even for $1 million. It's just too risky. But what if you had a loved one trapped on the other side and it was on fire? Would you do it then? If you're like most people, you probably wouldn't even hesitate to do it. So what changed? Your focus changed. Your focus went from a mere bet to a now deep, resounding emotional why. You see, focus determines meaning. Meaning determines emotion. Emotion determines behavior, and behavior determines outcome. Let's see if we can explain this a bit more to better help you tap into this power. The critical foundation to effective personal empowerment lies in a concept known as locus of control. Think about it as a spectrum. On one end of the spectrum, we have what we call an internal locus of control, or what we might refer to as a strong locus of control. People on this side of the spectrum tend to think in terms of making things happen. They think and believe things like, I can do this. What I do matters. I am in control of my future. These people tend to have an internal locus of control that allows them to see that the things that they do in their life matter, and thereby engage in more consistent, healthier habits and behaviors. On the other hand, on the other end of the spectrum, we have what we call an external locus of control, or what we might refer to as a weak locus of control. People on this end of the spectrum tend to think in terms of things always happening to them. They think and believe things like, why bother? They say, why does this always happen to me? Or, nothing I do even matters. People with an external locus of control lack personal power because they believe the things that they do in their life don't even really matter. And so they tend not to do much of anything because they don't really believe that anything they do has any real consequences, or that they even have any control over the outcomes of their lives. Understanding and harnessing this power makes a huge difference. In fact, your locus of control will literally determine your future. One great example of someone who had a strong internal locus of control and chose to use emotion as a source of personal power to change his life was a man named Dick Hoyt. His son, Rick Hoyt, was born with severe cerebral palsy. His father, Richard Eugene, or Dick Hoyt, was determined to not let his son's special needs keep him from being in races. They've been in many races as father and son, and this includes marathons as well as Ironman triathlons and more. Watch their inspiring story.
I can only imagine what it will be like when I walk by your side. I can only imagine what my eyes will see when your face is before me. I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I can only imagine when that day comes and I find myself standing in the sun. I can only imagine when all I would do is forever worship you. I can only imagine, yeah. I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. I can only imagine when all I would do is forever, forever worship you. I can only imagine.
So, now that we've discussed the why, let's shift our focus to the what. When it comes to creating your personal health roadmap, clarity and specificity are key, which is why we want to help you create goals that are SMART. SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. When we say specific, we ask, what exactly do you want to achieve with your health? With regard to measurable goals, we ask, how will you know when you've achieved your health goal? With attainable, we ask, is it genuinely possible to achieve it? And with relevant, we ask, how does it contribute to your other life goals? And with time-bound, we ask, when do you want to achieve this by? Take the next 5 minutes to write down at least one SMART health goal. Okay, have you written down your SMART goals? Awesome. Now there's just one last step in creating your personal health roadmap. If you'll recall, we start with your ideas and vision, or your why, and then move on to your goals, which are your SMART goals or your what. But now we get to the action plan, or the how. So how do you create this last part of your personal health roadmap? We're going to introduce you to a concept known as COGS. These are controllable, objective guiding steps. Just like cogs in a wheel that help it to move, controllable, objective guiding steps help to move your goal from being merely a wish to a real plan. While we can't always control everything in life, cogs help us to focus on what we can control. So let's say you set a SMART goal of losing 15 pounds in the next 12 weeks. Some controllable, objective guiding steps might be, number 1, eat a salad for lunch every day. Number 2, drink at least 32 ounces of water every day. Number 3, eliminate soda from your diet. Number 4, walk or jog a mile each day. Number 5, attend a yoga class 3 times per week. COGS help us to shift from a goal merely being a hope or a dream to an actual plan. Take these last few minutes to write down some controllable, objective guiding steps to your goals. Okay, did you write down the controllable, objective guiding steps to your health goals? Awesome! Now you have something powerful. You don't just have a hope or a wish or even just a goal. You have an action plan designed to help you succeed. You have a personal health roadmap. This is important because greater health comes from within, and it starts with a clear why, what, and how. Your ideas and visions turned into goals, which are then turned into an action plan. You have the power to create the level of health that you want and the life you want. We hope that this workshop has helped you create a greater level of excitement and clarity. Moving forward, we have 4 more workshops that we invite you to attend for free. This is all part of our 5 Fundamentals of Health Wellness Workshop series. Tonight, we covered the first fundamental of health, that health comes from the inside, and we did this as a hands-on goal-setting workshop. Coming up next, we're going to be talking about the fundamental of simplicity and consistency. During this next workshop, we'll go in depth on habits and how to form and create good, consistent habits. During the third workshop, we're going to be talking about proper mechanical and chemical function. Here, we're going to be talking about some simple strategies that you can use to improve your body's function. During our fourth workshop, we're going to be talking about how to create greater resiliency to day-to-day stress through strategies like meditation, breathwork, and more. And lastly, during our final workshop, we're going to be talking about nutrition in a way that's fun and simple. One important final thought. You are your single greatest advocate when it comes to your health and wellness. No one can improve your diet, your fitness, or any other area of your health for you. No matter how much they love and care for you, personal health and well-being is ultimately up to the individual. No one cares as much about your health as you. Thank you for attending the workshop. We look forward to seeing you on our next one.